try to get their bump. All right, accept it. So we can all we're going to be ready to rock. Okay. So tonight, you guys, I'm so excited. Welcome to the Hive Huddle. If you don't know, my face or my name, I'm Sarah O'Connell. I've been here for, you guys, almost 13 years. So I'm an ambassador diamond with It Works Global. Literally love this company, their hearts, their vision, these products, all of the things. And I'm so excited tonight that we get to hear and spotlight Miss Shannon J. Y'all, if you've never gotten yourself to an in-person event, I really encourage you to do so because that is where Shannon and I got to meet. Shannon is way out in Canada. So we have just team absolutely everywhere, but it's just so nice to not only get to see faces and get to know you guys through here, but to actually squeeze you guys in person is just like the best gift of all time. But anyway, so I've gotten to watch Shannon just build her business, dream big, and let me tell you what a gift that has been. And so last month I'm sitting there watching and I just keep seeing this name pop up over and over and over. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Just
In a
minutes away.
month, oh, hold on, I'm gonna mute. In a month, like where there's a lot going on, right? There's like all the holiday stuff. I know so many people, like we all got to talk to a lot of people, and maybe they were waiting for the new year or they were on budgets or whatnot. But I'm just gonna tell you, and I'm gonna brag on her for a minute, but she helped 12 people get their business started. And she helped almost 50 people get started on our products. And that is pretty freaking incredible. And so, Shannon, can you please tell me how much did you earn in the Christmas cash?
Oh gosh, I could tell you a Canadian amount,
Okay, tell us Canadian,
not
because that's
not a US
that's
amount. I
even
think it
bigger.
was just over 5,000 Canadian.
That's what I thought.
Hmm.
Over 5,000 with the Christmas cash,
Yeah.
which so here's the thing, you guys, that I want to tell you. First of all, I want to tell you something like stop when I see 12 distributors and 49 customers. I know so many times people are like, I can't even get one distributor, or they're like, oh my God, I can't even get four customers and I'm working so hard for a customer bonus or whatever. First of all, I want to tell you if you keep telling yourself you can't do it, you're not going to. Second of all, when you are on these Zooms, I always preface these every single time. So every single time that I am on learning from other people, which I am always learning because things are always changing on social media. So you should be too. Is here's the thing is that you just need to, sometimes you're like, I just need to talk to more people, or I need a better system for some organization. But also I want you to know that there are people, it is telling you with enrollment numbers like that, you guys, there are people looking for the freedom to make extra income from home. And there are a heck of a lot of people that are looking for clean products like ours and to prioritize their health. So I think more so than anything, when you hear these things, I want you to know that there are people out there wanting exactly what you have, but they need to hear it from you. You need to get loud. You need to find the products that you absolutely love so you feel confident in sharing them. And I'm telling you, you will amaze yourself, and you start somewhere, right? You start with the first four and then you keep continuing to go and you grow your numbers. But we're just really excited to hear from you tonight, Shannon. I was like, this is going to tell you her tips, because that's the other thing, is it's really empowering to hear and inspiring to hear from people who are doing the stuff now. And you're seeing it, right? She has those enrollments. So obviously what she is doing is working. And we all know that success leaves clues. And when you actually come in to get your cup filled and you show up, guess what? You get to make the decision to go out and do the exact same thing so you can get your own results. Okay. So, Shannon, will you please just share like your story, how you found it works, why you started, and what it has done for you so far?
Definitely. Yeah. So I have kind of an interesting story. I started as a customer, and I don't even think I ever used my products. They ended up in my cupboard. So I got pregnant and couldn't use them. When my son was almost a year old, I found them again, and I was at my heaviest weight I had ever been. I messaged Jessica Cook, who's my enroller, and I was like, hey, can I use these products still? And she was like, they're probably pretty expired. Like, I would not recommend it. And I didn't answer her because I was like, okay, well, I can't afford new ones, so I'm just going to use them anyways. Ended up losing 10 pounds my first month. And I was like, oh my God, I've never felt this good. I need to tell everyone about this, but I also need to find a way to keep using them because, like I said, I could not afford it. But talking to Jess about it, I had failed at another online business before. So my husband and I were very jaded against network marketing, but learning about like HAPs and how you didn't have to have parties necessarily and do that sort of thing, I was like, okay, I think this is going to be different. I think it's different. So I actually signed up with like the most expensive starter pack. I think it was almost 500 Canadian after I told her I couldn't afford it. So guys, you never know. It depends on what people decide that is worth their money. And you never know when they're going to decide that. And I really just hit the ground running. I sent Jessica so many different screenshots. She was helping with conversations. We didn't have boards back then. I joined February of 2020, so literally like the month before COVID hit. And of course, everyone was like, oh, COVID, people don't have money. I went diamond in 3 months right at the beginning of COVID. So guys, like people do have money. Like I said, it depends. They have to decide that it's worth their money. And of course, during COVID, a lot of people were also concerned about their health and wellness. So that really helps. I mean, they still are. It's January, it's boom season. Everyone has their New Year's resolutions. It's the perfect time. Kind of going from there, I sat at Diamond for quite a while. I and of course, it was COVID, so we didn't have in-person conferences and things. In January of 23, I went to my first conference down in Florida. Myself and I think 3 of my girls went with me. And that was a game-changing conference. Like we left there so on fire. We ended up going double diamond in April, no, March. And I took my husband's account double diamond in April. So 1 month after the other. So we were just on fire after being at an in-person event. It was wild. And it just kind of continued on from there. This past year was actually really, really difficult. We were struggling trying to conceive our third child. But I'm now, in case you can't tell, 32 weeks pregnant.
Got a baby bump.
Yeah. She's bumping. And I had such a rough pregnancy at the beginning. So I got pregnant in June. And I'm going to say the first 24 weeks, I was throwing up like daily. Like it was awful. I was not showing up for my business. I was not showing up for my team. I was in bed. I was enrolling maybe like 3 customers a month, maybe 3 or 4. No distributors because I had in my mindset that I wasn't going to be able to be there to train them. So really when it came to November, December this year, and I finally started feeling better, it was a real comeback. Like I wasn't coming off of a huge wave. I was really coming off of a real low.
Yeah. And here's, okay, I want, if you're not muted, I'm going to try to find whoever. Okay. Shannon, can you start with that for a second? Like, I want you guys to hear this because I feel like even coming off of well, first of all, y'all, there's stages of life here. Like when you're here for a long time, it's not just always this up, 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 right? Like you don't know some of the things that are going to get thrown at you. I too have been through pregnancies where you are just feeling super rotten. But also like just I really want you to tell us when you started feeling better, what did you start jumping into first that you were like, you know what? I know that this brings me enrollments. This helps me grow. Like, explain that because that's a big shift, you guys. Like, and you know what I love about you being so honest is like so many people can relate to that. There's people that can look back and be like, oh my gosh, I had 3 enrollments in the last 2 months, but I want to change that. And the beauty of that is that you can, you guys. Like, that's what's so amazing about this business. And so, Shannon, just share first, like, what did you start shifting or what even kind of does your daily routine look like to where you started building back up these? I mean, last month was insane for you. Like that is so fun to watch. And I said that I'm like, I hope you were celebrating so big, but I didn't even know you were like coming off of that, you know? And so even more so, but just share what you kind of when you started feeling better, like where your focus went, what did your daily routine look like? What were some of those actions that you started building on and repeating over and over?
Yeah, so definitely jumping right back into it. I knew that I needed to get up some HAPs because I can tell you so I've been in for almost 5 years now, and that is where I'm going to say 99 to 100% of my enrollments have come from. I didn't start with a huge network. A lot of my network was not interested in it. So the majority of my network has come from building from apps. And it's funny because I can even tell you what date I started back because that's when there's names in my follow-up book. It's like empty month, empty month, empty month, empty month, November the 18th. That's when
You're
I
like,
started
I
back.
know. Hey, we call that like drawing a line in the sand. That's when you like make your decision, and there's so much power in that. And you guys, you get to do that at any time. So no November 18th,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you came in hot. Okay, so tell
Yeah.
us where you started. So you started doing host to posts. How
Yeah.
did the rest of November go for you?
Yeah. So started running hot with haps and like a lot. I started November 18th till the 30th. I had 74 product haps. That didn't include any giveaways, any distributor haps, 74 product haps in the last week and a half, 2 weeks. And then that is where all of my potentials and everything came from. I ended up getting one Christmas cash. I was really close to a second one in November. So the hap that I'm using is also really, really effective. I did share it with Sarah, so she's going to
I'm
throw it.
gonna share it in the chat, you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, and I shared the scripting that I use with it as well. And this is honestly what carried me through November and all through December. Obviously, in Canada, our products are a little bit different, but I do know some people. So for us in Canada, I'm selling gummies and thermophyte. That is kind of my big thing. I do know some people have used this hap to be for gummies and burn in the States. Our burn is a little bit different. So I personally still prefer the thermophyte over it. We don't have the same clinically proven ingredient that you guys do in the States. So you can switch up the information, switch up. Obviously, my pricing in there is also Canadian. You're going to want to switch that up if you're in the States. But it's just very like go with the flow. One step after the other, very clear. Definitely one thing I do want to mention is if you're going to use the scripting, make sure that you're also doing like a conversational type scripting. Like if someone, when you ask them what their weight loss goal is and they reply and they say, oh, I'm really struggling with diabetes and I need to lose 10 pounds to, I don't know, get my sugars down or whatever. You're not going to reply with awesome. You probably want to
Yes.
reply with, oh, I'm so sorry that you're going through that right now. But that's a great goal that I would love to be like the one to help you with. So just those few key twinges or tweaks in there when you are having those conversations. And then yeah, making sure that you are having those conversations with people and making it about them. Like yeah, like I'm running for Christmas cash for family goals and whatnot, and so I want the sales, but at the same time you still have to keep that focus on the customers and that we're helping them, right? They want to feel heard, they want to feel supported by you, because we are more than just like here's some products, see you later, right? We're kind of a bit of a cheerleader in the background for them, making all these recommendations and things. So you want that to come across in your messaging to them that you're very sincere and genuinely do want to help them. The other cool thing that I've been doing, which I guess will work in the States if you use it for gummies and burn, is when someone says that they are ready to order, then I have a script. I should have sent this to you, to upsell to the 30-day drop that says like, so in Canada, it's only $4 more, but they get 2 extra products with it. They can join our challenge where they can win product, blah, blah, blah. And so I had quite a few people at the end of December there when we first launched it, upgrade to the 30-day drop instead of just gummies and thermo. I'll send it to you at the end here, Sarah.
Okay, yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's perfect. And here's one thing I want you guys to realize is like she's not overcomplicating it. Like she's starting out and she's committing to it and she's doing the same host to post. I think sometimes you guys think like we have to mix everything up. Honestly, like don't make it harder for yourself, right? Just really get in there and just start focusing and start getting those conversations going. And then like, Shannon said too, it's like, you guys, it's okay to go off script. Like these, when I was talking to her, I said, here's what I want you to get from scripts. First of all, I always say this, like when I ask somebody like, what's your response to that? It's not because I just want to be a robot. I'm usually doing a few things. I'm like, okay, I've been using this and this isn't working that great, right? And so I'm like, can I tweak something? B, the other thing is is like sometimes you just want to check that you're on the right track, right? Like sometimes I'm like, I like to give you guys some wording so that you can be like, wait, that's what I'm doing. I now you kind of just think like, okay, I just need to do more, you know? And Shannon, I want you to share too, because obviously you started and you're pregnant, right? And you guys, sometimes pregnancy during this isn't like the easiest part because you can't take some of these products, right? So how are you kind of navigating even just that hurdle? Because we got lots of mamas on here. And same thing, like I remember going through that and I remember being worried the first time. After the first time, I was like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
Like, but I think a lot of it again is like mindset. So how did you even navigate that? Because obviously you can't invite somebody into what you're doing right now, right? And so what did you do for that part of it?
So I do still have my own results with the products.
Yeah.
Between my first two kids, I've lost over 80 pounds using the product. So I have a before and after. So if people ever ask me, have you used these or whatever, I am able to say, I have lost over 80 pounds using our products. Here's my before and after photo. I am currently pregnant, but I'm really excited to be able to use these after my pregnancy to get back to my pre-pregnancy weight. And it's kind of nice. I've always told people like, I don't usually worry about weight gain during pregnancy because I know I can lose it with how awesome our products are. So it takes like that stress off, which is really nice. And then you have other people that are going through similar things on your page. So I have a whole list of pregnant people who, with due dates, that I'm like, okay, I know when their baby's coming. I know what I need to message them when they're going to be ready to get started because they're like, oh, what are you going to do after? Like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's definitely just having your own results is so huge. Be it with any of the products. Even if you don't need to lose weight, try some reps, try the cleanse, use the hair care. And of course, it's great when you can use someone that you know their results as well. Like in those scripts, I send a lot of reviews from my clients. I don't usually send before and after photos. My clients don't usually send me photos. They just send me like a quick message on how they're doing. So I've screenshotted those. And that seems to be enough for them. So again, if you need reviews, like borrow them from your friends. Like I share a lot of my reviews with my team. I'm like, until you have reviews of your own to use, you can send these because we know that these are people that have actually used the products. Because I know sometimes too, I've had people be like, oh, well, can I talk to so and so? And I'm like, okay, I can go back and find them and connect like current customers with people who want experiences and all these things. Whereas when you're sending before and after photos, a lot of them are corporate and you're like, I don't even know who these people are. So I find it's really helpful when you do have those personal client reviews. I wonder if there's somewhere I can share some of mine with you if you need some for some of the girls on here.
Yeah.
Because I know sometimes people don't have uplines to share reviews with them or
Right.
people close to them or, so I definitely don't mind throwing mine in there for you.
Awesome. Well, you guys, and we'll get
Mhm.
some of that from her afterwards. So I have a
Mhm.
question for you. First of all, do you have a number of how many, like a goal each day of like how many a host to post you're trying to get up, or do you kind of have like a monthly goal? And then how are you getting your host to post up? Like, are you messaging? Are you doing giveaway posts, or what is really working for you to be efficient with like getting people to post for you?
So I kind of am like a go with the flow. So I always message 50 people to ask for helps. If I am in a day where I'm like, okay, I'm checking haps because I got up like 20 from the day before, I probably don't have time to send 50 messages that day. So it's kind of like a flow when I'm like, okay, there's no more haps to check, there's no more people to message from the haps, time to message for more haps. So I don't necessarily have like a daily goal, but you can like feel the flow when you get into it and you're like messaging constantly. Either you're messaging commenters on haps or you're messaging for haps. You're doing one or the other. Some days it's both. If I only got up like 5 haps, I can probably message 50 more the next day because there's probably not as many comments as there's going to be on 20 haps. In December, I think I had 134 of those product haps. And a lot of them were customers who enrolled in December. They were wanting to put up the post for me, which I think was also very effective because they were literally like, I'm using these. And all their friends are like, oh, that's so interesting. Like, what are you doing? What are you, and then they were kind of getting their friends in on it. Um,
Y'all, you're doing it together, right?
yeah,
I
yeah,
always say, I was like, as soon as you enroll a customer, the next day, the next thing you should be asking is having them do a host a post for you with one of the products that they've purchased because they're excited about it. It's coming, and it's like, you guys, friends, especially women, like they always want to do things together. They're like, oh my gosh, this is happening or this is happening. And so are you getting them like you're just going in, where are you finding your people to message? Like, are you green light messaging? Are you going to post and like, messaging from some of your likes or your views, or where are you finding your people to message?
yeah. So I try to do a giveaway post like once a week. So let's say for a month so that it's not like every single day on your page. And if I have to message more people after that, I really enjoy messaging people that have liked or commented on my non-business posts. And I do not tell them about the giveaway. All I say is like, hey, thanks so much for the support that you're showing me on my page. It means so much to me and my family. I first wanted to say thank you. And secondly, see if you'd be able to help me out. I'm going for a big goal this month. Would you be able to put a post on your wall for me for some referrals? It would mean so much, something like that. And so I find that I get so many more people that never comment on the giveaway post because some people just think that it's gimmicky or they don't need to win money, right? Those are the people that you want posting for you. If they don't need to win money, they probably have friends that also don't need to win money and therefore have money to buy our products. So I find that is super efficient. And then that's also part of my daily task is a post every single day, at least one. And that's where you want to mix it up and you don't always want it to be about the business, right? You still want to show who you are, what you're doing with your life. You want your followers to feel like they know you. Funny enough, I actually just had a follower message me yesterday and ask for my address because she made me a baby blanket. And like, I don't even know this lady, but like, that is how sweet they are. They feel like they know you, like they just want to be like involved. So it's super important that you are getting yourself out there, posting your selfies, putting up lifestyle posts, putting up posts about what you're doing. People are just curious. They just like being part of it. And yeah, so I find it super effective to message those people to post and not mention the giveaway.
You guys, okay, I want you to hear a few things. Like, no one likes to be salesy, right? And you get so much further and I think so much out of your business when you are genuine. And so like you have to remember that you are the magic sauce to your business. So yes, giving them some space in your regular life. She's doing things and sharing things that are even outside of it work. She's making sure when she's messaging that again, you're not just going through the motions. You guys, that's not fun just to go through the motions. So if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to do host to post, like get away from scripts a little bit and just be like, let me get into conversation today. Right. And like truly, I always feel like when I'm in conversation and somebody starts kind of like trusting me and they're telling me the things they really want to work on, those are the conversations that I get freaking excited about because I'm like, oh my gosh, like we have things for you, like, and what's so cool is like I may have been going in for a 30-day drop and all of a sudden she's over here telling me she's losing her hair or she's doing all this stuff, right? And we have options for her. And then I love when people need or have multiple goals because I'm like, oh, she's gonna be a customer for minimum 6 months, if not more, right? And then Shannon's also telling you, like, you guys, there's a reason for our auto ship. It is to find the products that you love and to get results in some way that you can literally share. Once you have them, you can share them forever, literally forever, right? And so here she is. She got her results. She has her products she loves, and that is what she's using. She's not trying to do a before and after right now. She's just sharing where she's at in life. She's sharing her previous experience with those things. And so you hear a lot of her personalization that is happening in her business, right? Over and over and over again. She's sharing her customers, like, what they're saying, their testimonials, that type of thing. So I think too, if there's anything that you can really start doing in 2025 is understanding that you are your magic sauce to your business. Like, yes, Shannon can come on here and tell you tips and I can give you wording and we can do those things. But gosh dang it, like we're so excited that we're here and you're on our team because of what you have to offer and like who you're relating to, what your impact can be, not only for yourself, but for the people who relate to you rather than me or Shannon. Like they need you guys. They're waiting for you guys to speak up. They're waiting for that boldness. So, out of all those things that she has already shared with us, I want you to know like, it's you. It's you. You got to lean into that. Okay. And then you can start committing to these actions. You can commit to getting the host to post up. Also, guess what? You don't have to do the messages. If you have hot messages going and you are following up and you have this many conversations, do not be like, oh, I got to go message some more. Like, yes, it's okay for you to read your road where you're at and you get to do that. And so if you have a host to post blow up and you guys really, that's sometimes all you need is one. Like there's sometimes I've signed 12 customers off of one host to post. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, does it take me maybe 10 to get that one? For sure. But my gosh, you guys, 12, like that's more than some people have enrolled in the last month, right? But it's like you might just get that. And guess what? You're going to lean into that and you are going to work that freaking host to post, even if it takes you 3 days or you pop off a reel and it just goes viral. Guess what? If you work one reel all month long and you are getting enrollments from it, that's what you should do. You shouldn't be stressing about any of the other things. So be willing to kind of read where you're at and see what you need, and you can shift the ship how you want it. Like that's the beauty of being your own boss. So, okay, let's talk about I want you to tell me how you're getting your distributors and kind of like what those conversations look like. If they're like invites, if they're coming from posts, or what do you feel like is really impactful right now for you to convert them into distributors?
So it's definitely comes in with consistency. Consistency is a huge thing with the distributors, especially with your posting. So I do like a handful of distributor haps every month. So we get some potentials from there. I also really like just randomly messaging people on my newsfeed. And I know like that's more of like an Instagram thing to do, but I post on Instagram, but I don't really work Instagram. I am working like completely on Facebook, going through my newsfeed. And a lot of these people I like have been friends with, they've never even posted for me, or I've never even talked to them about products or anything, and they're showing up on my newsfeed. And I find sometimes as you're messaging those random people, Facebook starts showing you more random people that you haven't talked to. So there's something in the algorithm. And a lot of people don't even realize that what we have is a thing. Like they just don't. So those 12 distributors came from, yeah, messaging random on my newsfeed. I think maybe one or two were from Distributor Hap, and the rest were all follow up. In December, I went through and followed up with every single potential I had in 2024. So all the way back to like January of 2024, messaging them again saying, hey, do you still need some extra income? I'm opening some positions for the new year. We're hitting boom season. Now is a great time to jump in. So it's been that consistency through the year. Well, I guess the first half of the year. After June wasn't so consistent, but the first half of the year, and then coming into the ending. But yeah, it's I really don't do a lot of, like I said, like reels. I haven't been able to keep up with. I was really consistent for a while, and then again, pregnancy totally dropped off. Nothing. Maybe like I've maybe posted like 5 reels since June, I'm gonna say. So they're not really coming from there for me. It's all in the random messaging. And then again, it's the consistency in that random messaging though. I'm sending anywhere from 10 to 20 messages a day. And then you're hoping to get those answers. I'm gonna say maybe 2 or 3 people answer me a day and I give them information.
And then do you ever just follow up and like you'll go and ask
Mhm.
those random people to host a post for you? You kind of like switch up your conversation a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So you guys, I do think inviting is so important. If that is something you're missing out on, I mean, we can even I'll share my what my invite message looks like. Again, I'm not much of a scripts person. Like I kind of always stop and I ask myself, like, why do you want to send her a message? Like, what did you see in her that like you thought she would be good at this? Like I always pause for just a second to ask myself that. The other thing, you guys, is like to get the people that you want on your team. I always say this, you have to know what you are looking for or what you want in a distributor that's going to join you. And then once you I always say write down 5 things that you're looking for in a distributor, okay? I'm always like coachable. I don't even care what their following looks like. I'm like, are you coachable? Are you hungry? Do you have goals? Are you willing to communicate? And what kind of time do you have to put in, right? And so I kind of have my things. But again, I want you to know that. And then you kind of first have to ask yourself, am I doing those things? Right. And then if you are, like, you're going to start creating a team with those people that have the qualities that you're really looking for. Right. So even if last year you're like, dude, I feel like my distributors were duds. First of all, look at yourself and just be like, what could I have done differently? And we're going to ask Shannon, like, how she is leading and like helping these new people and doing stuff like that. But I always look at myself first. I'm like, where can I improve to help people reach their goals or stay really hungry for what they started for? Right. And then from there, I'm also like, girl, do you need to like mix up what you're looking for in people? Because it's really funny how when you start getting specific about those things, those are the people that you start seeing more of. Okay. So I always tell you guys to do that first. Like, find 5 qualities that you are looking for to partner up with people this year. Ask yourself if you are possessing these qualities so that you can lead them, right? And then I want you to go out and I want you to start inviting because it is not going to kill you to message somebody. And honestly, I truly, when people even message me, even though I'm in a business, I'm like, dang, that's an honor. Like they freaking see something in me. You guys, that is essentially why you're messaging them. Like, yes, you want distributors, but you're reaching, there's a million bajillion people in the world. Like you are messaging them for a reason. So ask yourself what that is and kind of bring that in to the conversation. And I see somebody was writing, I have a hard time getting friends to join. Honestly, go outside your friends. Can I just tell you that? Like, you guys, it is kind of a weird thing, but I always say when you start working with random people and they're your customers, like I actually thoroughly enjoy those people and you will find actually some of the best relationships of and friendships of all time when you start doing that. And so, and also when you start doing that, like you go from expanding your circle from your vision, like your circle or small circle here to like you're unlimited. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is even if your friends and family were supporting you or wanted to do this with you, you would run out at some point anyway. So you need to figure that part of it out, at some point. So do it now. Just start working and building your network, through host to post or adding people, or just being able to get a bigger reach. Or like even Shannon said, you guys, you underestimate what interacting and commenting on posts can do for you. I have people that literally come and friend me and it will be like this person commented, you know how like Instagram will say like this person commented on your post or like it's a post that you commented on, so it kind of kicks you back. And all of a sudden, like 2 days later, they're in my inbox. Like if you are this person that's like uplifting, positive, let me first tell you, you're going to stand out in our today's world, especially on social media, because you aren't the troll, okay? You're like the positive person. But also, it's bringing people to you, okay? So remember too, whatever you're wanting to get out of people, you need to be giving back to them. Okay. So we got to be interacting and doing those things. And that's where Shannon's finding a ton of her people that she's inviting into this business, but also going and asking for those host to posts, right? And so can you share with us, when you're bringing these people on, she's a double diamond. So I'm sure you have some really cool goals for this year. Like I think diamond and double diamond are so incredible, but there's like, as you start going into the next, you're kind of like, whoa, this is crazy, right? This is crazy that, wait, you bought the big kit, but so, some of us bought the small kit, Shannon. Like, this is what we're doing, but Shannon went big. But like, what are you doing that brings your team together and kind of teaches them to do their own part and kind of find that pride in building their own business? Because we all know to not only hit these ranks, and y'all, let me just say this for a second. If you are going for diamond and above this year, I want you to drop a 1 in the chat. Okay. Because this next question is going to be very important for you. So I want you, yeah, we got some hungry people are hungry for they're hungry for the shiny things this year, and we're excited, okay? And so what are some of the things that you're doing to have duplication amongst your team and helping your team find pride in building their own business and getting those enrollments? Because we know at Diamond and Double Diamond, we can't do it alone, right? You're looking for those hungry people that want to do it with you. Because honestly, you guys, that's what's freaking fun. Like, that's what's fun, right? I don't have to check in with Shannon and be like, hey, Shannon, have you posted today? Like, Shannon knows to post. Shannon knows to go ask for host to post. So now we're like, oh my gosh, like, hey, have you switched anything up? Have you learned this? Have you done that? Like, even yesterday, I was talking to Jamie Marie. We all know Jamie Marie because she's got like bomb 30-day drop results. She's like such a gem. And even then, it's like we're teaching each other just different things, right? So we get to work together. But can you give them some tips? Because I think that's sometimes where people lack confidence is they're like, okay, I got him in here. And then they're like, I'm paralyzed. What do I do? So share some of your leadership tips with them of what got you to diamond, double diamond, kind of what you're focusing on to push yourself to that triple diamond and above this year.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend like find those people that are going to run with you. We can't like drag people along. Like you can't. If there are people that you're having to message every day to remind them like, "Hey, did you do this? Did you do that?" They're probably not really in it yet. It doesn't mean that they won't be. Maybe it's just not their time. Like there are some people who started their business and they didn't decide that it was really worth it till year 3. You know, they kept renewing, they were just chilling on the sidelines, and then all of a sudden they jumped in. Now, you want to find your runners and you want to be in contact with them. I'm also a big fan of charting. You need to update your chart every single day. You need
Yes.
to be in eSuite. You need to be watching those declines. You need to be messaging those customers that are declining. You need to be with your team doing the same thing, saying, "Hey, did you update your chart this week? How's it going? How close are you?" And get your numbers. Figure out how many customers do you need at 30-day drops, let's say ADBV. How many ADBV customers do you need to hit your goal? How many customers do you need every single week to hit your goal? And celebrate those small wins. There's no like small wins, I'll say, because I don't believe in small wins. Like every win is a big win. But you could say small win, like, oh, I signed a customer. That is so exciting. Signing one customer is so exciting. You get a high, you get a rush, there's like an adrenaline. It's just so exciting. And you want to celebrate with your team. You want to shout them out. You want everyone else to see them. You want to have recognition within your team, and that's going to make everyone feel really special. And again, give them that motivation to keep going. And also, most teams run like contests. So I really recommend encouraging people to get involved in the contests. A lot of the contests, I'm like, I know that you enrolled, but you didn't enter them in like the boom or whatever. Like, why? Why not? So stay on top of your team, make sure that they're winning prizes. And if they're doing the things that they're getting the recognition that they deserve for them. And yeah, so diamond can seem really far off, but focus on hitting those small goals and get your team involved in leading with you. So something I started a while ago is we had a team chat where every single day I was going in and giving everyone a post, a story, and like a poll with tasks to do. And I got to the point where I was like, this is silly that I'm doing this all myself. I have amazing leaders on my team. So now there are 7 different people on my team that have one day of the week and they post the tasks for everyone else. So get them involved, right? So now they're accountable to the rest of the team, they're accountable to themselves. That's just one idea, suggestion that you can use once you get there. If you have that many people on your team, it also keeps them resourceful, that they're not just always waiting on something from you. And we're switching it up. As people are newbies and coming in, we're like, okay, let's give this person a chance to do this task or this person. And usually I have like a calendar so that the people who are doing the tasks are always switching up what kind of post they're doing. So every single day of the month, I write down if they're doing a giveaway post, if they're doing a lifestyle post, if they're doing a product post. So it's always different. And they don't have to like look back and say, oh, well, what did that person do? What do I need to do? It's a little bit more direction. And again, I've had another leader create that calendar. So just find different tasks for people to be doing. I've had some people run our team contests before. So instead of me going in every single month and having to update everything, someone else was doing it. Get them involved. And it also, I think it makes them feel good too, because you are giving them that responsibility. You're entrusting them with that. So it builds up their confidence as well.
Yeah, and you guys, like hearing that you can use that, but also be that person that's ready to step into that.
Mhm.
Because I always say I got stuck at double diamond for a long time, right? I kind of had a little dip back to diamond, and then so I had to rebuild back up to double diamond, which going to my first conference literally had me there like a month afterwards. Like it was crazy. But also like I remember I was like, okay, now that I'm here, like I am so ready to just keep moving that needle forward. And that's what it was. Like I tell the girls that all the time. I'm like, you guys, it was taking on leadership responsibility, like doing the stuff that scared the living crap out of me, right? Like you might be like, you know what? I don't really know what I would share. Guess what? You have the resources. We all have resources where these are sample posts, these are sample stories. You know that we're supposed to be adding to our network. Like, yes, you can do it, right? And you really don't know if you can do it until you just start doing it. But that's the cool thing is I always say, I'm like, the Lord is not going to bring you people to lead if you are not leading yourself or willing to step into that leadership role. You got to do, he's going to do his part, but you got to do your part too, you know? And so I actually literally love that you said that because it really is that. And and there's people that we will ask stuff and I just love it. Like they're like, I'm saying yes before I can even tell myself, like talk myself out of it, right? To say no. And it's like that's exactly what you should do over and over and over again. And then all of a sudden you're gonna wake up and be like, oh, how'd you go triple diamond? You're like, oh my gosh, like this is what I started doing. Right. So I love that, you guys. And sometimes people feel like it's hand holding, but I am just like, yes, I want them to be resourceful, but I also think as you can start getting people to win, the next, like, they just can want to continue to win, right? Like, as they start getting their first perks bonus or they're getting in their quick start and they're earning those, you guys, they want more after that. So they're going to start kind of picking it up. And like some of them, I'll even say, like, hey, so we've done this first month and I've showed you where to get these. I want you to start going to get them yourself. So I want you to do that the next 3 days and I'm going to come check over all your stuff. Or when you're done doing it each day, come tell me, like, hey, can you just go review and see if I did it all on my own, right? Like, again, that's just giving them the responsibility. So now they're resourceful, but they're literally doing it on their own, but they know they have you in their back pocket. That's exactly what it should be, right? And then they start getting more and more brave every single time. So, um, anything, this has been so good. And I just love so many pieces of your story just because like you said, it's like you felt like you went from zero to like you're on this high. And it's just like again, it just reminds you guys that just a decision is like it can change everything for you, right? So is there anything that we haven't gone over that you haven't shared, Shannon, that you're like, I want to leave them with this, especially before y'all conference is next week. Like this, and Shannon, I get to see you. I'm so excited.
Yay.
And some of these other girls will get to see you in person this time, and it's gonna be so good. But is there anything that you're like, I just really want to leave them with this and want them to know this going into the year?
Mhm. Yeah, so I think I have two things. So one of them is I know like sometimes people are like, oh, people keep commenting on my giveaway posts and then they never answer me. Do you stop messaging them? No. If you're commenting, you're getting a message. You never know. Like I've had it go through and someone didn't answer me 8 times. They answered me that ninth time and their hat blew up. If I hadn't messaged them, there goes all those potentials. Same with when I'm randomly messaging people that have liked and commented on my other post to ask them to have. When I don't mention the giveaway, that message, the same thing. If it's been like a month or two, I'm messaging them again because they are still interacting with me. They know that they got a message interacting with me before. So guess what? You're going to get another one. And same thing. I've had it where people don't answer like 5 times. It's been a whole year. And I send them another message and all of a sudden they say yes. I don't know what changed. I really don't. But just like don't give up on some of those people unless someone has explicitly told you like stop messaging me, then that's probably like your stop sign. And then the other thing that I didn't really touch much on is following up. Following up is huge. Like it's part of my daily. So my daily tasks that I was doing were post, story, HAP messages, checking HAPs, following up from previous days' messages, and distributor messages. Those are kind of my main things. So, and following up. So I have a follow-up book that every single day in my book is a new day. So like Tuesday is a day, Wednesday is the next page is Thursday. You can have a lined notebook from the dollar store and just write the date on the top and have a whole page for your day. Same idea. So then when it's Thursday, I'm going back to Tuesday and Wednesday and messaging those people if I didn't get to them the day before. And it's really easy to keep lined up what day you need to message because you know what day you're on. Fridays, everyone gets a message. Fridays, everyone from that month gets a message. Then maybe the following Wednesday, I'm going to go back and do the month previous. Everyone from that month is getting a message. So stay on top of it. Remember that I think that it's 5 to 12 follow-ups before someone says yes. So with how many customers I did enroll, you can only imagine how many names are still in my book that said, no, I need to wait for the new year. No, I need to wait for the new year. No, I need to wait for the new year. So know that I had that too. I just had more potentials. So it's all a numbers game. It's all a numbers game. More haps, more potentials, more people are going to say yes. More potential distributors, more people are going to say yes. So if you want more, you need to do more and go for more and know that you can. You can turn it on whenever you want.
Which is so crazy. Like you guys, that's a blessing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she got to take care of herself. Or I think about certain times like that. Like there's you guys, if you plan to be here and you're building a legacy for your family, and this is kind of part of your retirement plan and all those things, you will go through life. But what's cool is that your business can go with you. Like literally wherever you are. And you can turn it on, you can turn it up at any point that you want. And honestly, Shannon, too, just like listening tonight, like you got you're organized and you got intentional, right? Like like following up is being truly, it's actually being intentional with your work and working smarter rather than harder. Like you're not planting the seed for Shannon to go pick it up. Right? You're not planting the seed for me to come along and be like, well, I'm going to follow up because I have a notebook. And like she said, honestly, you guys, I like the notebook each day because first of all, you get to see the line. So you can be like, oh, well, I only have 2 on there. Like if you do that, even in 30 days, you can go back and be like, I need to talk to more people. Like,
Yeah.
or you can be like, wow, this is my highest number and this is where I'm at. You get to decide, like, let's do that again this month. Or you can be like, I do want to turn it up a notch. You might want to turn it up a notch when you hear announcements coming from conference, right? So you get to make that decision. But I actually love the notebook because y'all, the planners don't have enough lines for how many people you should be talking to. I'm going to be honest. Okay. I know how many lines my planner has and it already gets filled up with like my kid stuff. So no, an actual just plain notebook where you date it and then you put the names down. I like that because I think searching through my messages sometimes, like the scrolling, just like also I'm like, oh, well, that's just too much. But I can pull out a notebook and be like, this is who you're going to type in and go talk to. So much faster, so much more intentional. You've already talked. You're not going to have people slipping through. You're not working hard to get nowhere, right? And so I love that. So can we just say thank you to Shannon? Shannon, you're the best. I'm so grateful that you got on with us tonight. We got to hang out with you tonight, and I'm so freaking proud of you. Like it was just
Yes,
so
thank
fun to
you.
watch you. I'm like watching the leaderboard. I'm like, there she is. There she is. And y'all, Shannon committed in December. So there was like a big gap here from where and I was like, I'm just proud. Like, I'm just proud of you. So I'm excited to see you next week, which will be super, super fun. And I hope you guys take some of the stuff that she shared tonight. And we just appreciate you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. It was an honor.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good night, you guys.
Good night.